Hello, this is Dr. Terry James Gingrass, and this is ADHD Chat, the show that works real hard to make the world safe for ADHD. And as you may have noticed, this is not my usual time, and this certainly is not my usual background. My wife and I have been celebrating our anniversary, and we've gotten away from things a little bit, and I still wanted to send some holiday sort of messages to you, probably the most important one of all. And I'm going to be on the road tomorrow at my normal time, so driving back home. So this is my last holiday message, okay? And it's probably, like I said, the most important one. If you don't know me, I am a clinical psychologist. Well, actually, I'm a neuropsychologist, and I have a private practice, and at least half of my practice is ADHD. I evaluate children, adults, and basically do all the kinds of things that you need to do with ADHD. I am also a coach. I do a lot of coaching of ADHD. My favorites are ADHD entrepreneurs, but I also get a fair number of students, college students usually, who are looking for some kind of direction so they can stay focused and get good grades and all that good stuff. Okay, and but let's get down to it when we're talking about ADHD and we're talking about the holidays. Now, most of the time you're getting all kinds of stuff about, oh, maybe you need to learn how to discipline, or maybe you need to learn how to avoid temper tantrums and breakdowns of various kinds and all that sort of thing. And I just want to tell you that one of the things you really need to focus on, probably the most important thing to focus on, is enjoying your ADHD child or children, depending, and maybe your ADHD spouse, if you know what I mean. Okay, because ADHD kids get a disproportionate amount of discipline, corrections, disapproving adults, all that kind of stuff. Could be teachers, could be, you or your spouse, could be coaches, just lots of different sorts of things that are telling them that maybe they don't measure up somehow. And that's a really hard message for ADHDers to keep getting all the time. They have a hard time. School was not designed for ADHD kids, and frequently we don't do anything to make it easier for them either, because we're worried and we're scared all the time. We hope, oh my God, if he doesn't or if she doesn't, they're never gonna, And usually there's some horrible, awfulizing kind of thing that you are worried about happening to them because they don't do well in school, or because they didn't turn in their homework, or on and on and on. But the things for the next couple of days, as we ramp up to Christmas, I want you to make a real effort to actually enjoy your ADHD child. I mean, ADHDers are interesting kids. They're a lot of fun on a lot of occasions. But you've got to open yourself up to that and be available to enjoy their energy. I mean, they have an incredible amount of energy, obviously, and that's something that's kind of interesting and exciting to be around. And they also have great senses of humor. Okay, they like to laugh, and they find things funny that you probably wouldn't even think about. But your job is to be kind of open to that. Be aware of that. Don't be so worried about everything going on in the holidays and all the things you have to do, and dip and worrying about if something bad's going to happen. And enjoy them, and enjoy the energy, enjoy their sense of humor, and above all, enjoy their creativity. Because ADHDers tend to be very creative. They do that, I think, mostly because they see things a little differently in the world. We don't, most of us, at least the ones of us that don't have ADHD, we're taught the way our society sees the world is the way the world is. And sometimes we hold those beliefs very rigidly. And sometimes that gets in the way. Sometimes we don't see the obvious. We don't see things when they don't quite work out the way they should. We don't recognize that there are other ways of doing stuff. ADHDers don't have that problem. They routinely see other ways of doing things. They routinely think of new stuff, new ideas, new ways of doing stuff. They build things. You build. I don't even remember the first time my ADHD child built something different. Just took a bunch of just odds and ends and made himself something, some kind of a toy or a device for doing something. And they tend to be really creative, and you want to praise that. You want to be aware and alert for chances to really encourage them to be creative, to express their sense of humor, to basically express themselves in any way they can. It is important to you, for you as the parent, to recognize that and to do the best things you can to encourage that. Because ultimately, that's going to be way more important than all the things you worry about, whether or not they turned their homework in, or whether or not they cleaned up their bedroom, or how in the world did they break that thing. That stuff long term is not going to matter, okay? Long term, it just isn't that big a deal, and you are just spending a whole bunch of energy on stuff that, well, first of all, you can't control it. And second of all, nothing you do improves things. Let me say that as an extreme, okay? Because a whole bunch of what you do improves stuff as a parent. But the worry part, the angst part, the stuff that makes you irritable and short-tempered and likely to go off in a not good sense, those things don't change stuff, or if they do, they don't change it for the better, okay? You do not want your kid to grow up thinking there's something wrong with him or her. And you do not want your child to have really low self-esteem and think that the deck is stacked against him or her and that there's no way they can do anything that's going to improve stuff. You do not want them to be like that. You want them to be self-confident and resilient and think that everything they do has value, and everything they do will work out eventually if they keep trying. Because that's all they've got going for them, is they have to keep trying. They have to keep doing the best they can, and that they need to learn that when things don't work out very well, there's a lesson in there to be learned. And that's what you want to encourage them to do. Okay, what happened? What did you learn? What would you like to do about that next time to make it turn out better? That kind of an approach. Okay, and enjoying the heck out of them is really, though, you want to laugh with your kids, your ADHD kids especially. You want to laugh with them. You want to appreciate their humor. You want to appreciate their creativity. You want to have a good time with them. Use their energy. They've got a bunch of it. You use it. Direct it. The folks who have the hardest time with ADHD kids are the ones for whom everything is about discipline. Everything is about obey me. And you're going to have a horrible time with that. Okay, it's just not going to work out very well for you. Somebody's leaving me a message and I can't really quite make it out. But anyway, you have to enjoy your kid. You have to play with them. Play with your child. Have a good time. Appreciate their sense of humor. Appreciate the way they look at the world. And sometimes that'll just amaze you. Sometimes that's just a great, great thing to do, to be able to appreciate their sense of humor and their creativity and their unique take on the way the world is and the way the world should be. Okay, this is probably just a little bit shorter than usual, but again, I'm Dr. Terry James Gingras, and this is Dr. G's ADHD Chat, and we're here to make the world safe for ADHDers, because normal people don't change the world, and your child may be the one who changes the world for the better for all of us. So encourage them. Be a positive force in their lives. And enjoy the holiday season. Okay, we'll catch you back on the new year. Till then, Dr. Terry James Gingras. I am available at terrygingrasphd.com. And have a happy holiday season.